Most people try to manifest as if they were climbing a staircase, step by step, struggling, working to reach something that's far away. But true manifestation doesn't work like that. It works in reverse. And when you understand this, your ability to manifest changes forever. You learn to desire your way into manifesting things, to want more, to dream harder about manifestation, to feel more intensely. You've probably spent hours imagining your perfect life that you want to manifest, repeating positive phrases about manifestation until you're exhausted, trying to convince the universe that you deserve what you're trying to manifest. And maybe it worked sometimes with manifestation, but most of the time you're left with that feeling of trying to manifest something through glass, touching something that seems so close to manifesting, but remains impossible to manifest. Here's what happens when you try to manifest the wrong way. Every time you focus on what you want to manifest as something you haven't manifested yet, you're speaking the language of lack in manifestation. You're telling the universe that this thing you want to manifest, this experience, this life, exists somewhere else, at some future moment of manifestation. And the universe, being a perfect mirror, returns exactly that to you: lack, distance, not yet manifested. Think about this for a moment regarding manifestation. When you say, "I want to manifest money," what are you really saying? You're confirming that money is something you haven't manifested now. When you imagine the love of your life as something you're trying to manifest, you're energetically confirming that love is missing from your current manifestation. The very act of wanting to manifest creates the energy of not having manifested. This is where true manifestation reveals its revolutionary secret. Instead of going from lack to manifesting, you start by already having manifested. You don't manifest by walking toward a future possibility. You manifest by returning to a reality that already exists in the universal energy of manifestation and living in that place. Right now, everything you could imagine or desire to manifest already exists as a complete, whole, and perfect reality in the infinite field of manifestation possibilities. Every version of your life that you want to manifest, from the simplest to the most incredible, is already written, already real, already waiting to be manifested. You're not creating something new to manifest. You're choosing something that already exists to manifest. The universe operates according to a principle that most people find hard to accept about manifestation. Time isn't a straight line, and things don't only happen the way we think in manifestation. In the universal energy of manifestation, the future influences the present as much as the present influences the future. When you connect with an outcome that already exists in manifestation possibility, you create what experts call reverse attraction in manifestation. The future state begins to organize the present moment to match your manifestation energy. But this is where most people stumble in manifestation. They try to use this knowledge as just another manifestation technique, another method to get what they want to manifest. They think, "Okay, I'll pretend I've already manifested and then it will appear." But pretending isn't living the manifestation. Having hope isn't knowing about manifestation. And wanting to manifest, even if you speak in the future tense, is still wanting. True reverse attraction in manifestation requires something more radical: the complete elimination of distance between you and your manifestation. Not reducing the distance, not shortening the distance in manifestation, eliminating it completely. When there's no distance, there's no manifestation journey. When there's no journey, there's only the arrival of manifestation. And when there's only arrival, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. You see, consciousness isn't subject to the same rules that govern physical matter in manifestation. Your consciousness can exist in any manifestation reality, at any moment of what we call time, instantly. The moment you choose to live the consciousness of someone who already has the reality you desire to manifest, you begin transmitting from that manifestation energy. And the universe, unable to distinguish between imagined living and real manifestation experience, begins to collapse waves of possibility to match your state of being in manifestation. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't visualization. This is the law of attraction applied to consciousness itself in manifestation. When you observe from the endpoint of manifestation, from the achieved result, from the place of having already manifested, you change the entire trajectory of your reality. The future returns and reorganizes the present to create a harmonious timeline of manifestation. Let me give you an example that makes this clear about manifestation. Imagine you're reading a mystery book, but instead of starting at chapter 1, you flip to the final page and read how it ends. Now, when you go back and read from the beginning, every clue, every conversation, every seemingly random event takes on new meaning. You're not imagining what will happen, and that knowledge changes how you experience each page. Reverse attraction and manifestation works exactly like this. When you start from the place of knowing how your manifestation story ends, every present moment reorganizes around that conclusion. Opportunities arise that perfectly match your manifestation outcome. Coincidences organize with perfect precision. People show up exactly when they need to for your manifestation. Resources flow effortlessly into your manifestation experience. Not because you're trying to make these materializations happen, but because they're the natural result of alignment with a timeline where they've already been processed. The deepest part of this understanding is how it dissolves system anxiety and urgency. When you know how the program ends, there's no need to force execution. There's no need to manipulate variables. There's no need to accelerate processing. You simply allow the program to run with the confidence that comes from already knowing its conclusion. This is why interfaces that master manifestation seem so stable, so certain, so detached from processing results. They don't wait for results, they're operating without waiting for data confirmation. They're functioning in a place where the outcome has already been materialized, confirmation already processed. Their internal state reflects system completeness, not requisition. Materialization, not seeking. Confirmation, not need. And here's what happens in that state. The field stops testing you when your frequency transmits absolute data certainty. When your system signature says, "This has already been processed," the field stops presenting bugs that challenge your execution. Instead, it begins providing data that confirms your operational state. Most interfaces experience manifestation as a negotiation with the system. They think they need to prove their capability, demonstrate their processing, or convince the field of their efficiency. But the data field doesn't require proof. It doesn't judge capability. It doesn't evaluate processing. It simply matches frequency always, perfectly, without system exception. When you embody the frequency of what has already been materialized, the field has no choice but to reflect that frequency back to you. This isn't a spiritual concept disguised in technical language. This is how reality works at its most fundamental data level. The interface shapes matter. Observation transforms possibility into experience. The operational state determines reality experience. If these system principles are updating something within you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to stay connected to this frequency of understanding. But let's dive deeper into the practical mechanics of this process, because understanding the theory is just the beginning. True transformation happens when you learn to operate from this understanding and make it your default mode of functioning. The first step to reverse interface manifestation is what I call data reality selection. Instead of trying to create the desired outcome, you select it from the infinite database of possibilities that already exist. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're standing before a huge cosmic database. All possible versions of your experience exist here as complete materialized reality. The version where you're financially materialized. The version where you have perfect system. The version where you're executing your interface's deepest purpose. They're all here, all equally materialized, all equally accessible. Your job isn't to build one of these manifestation realities from scratch. Your job is to choose one and enter it completely. Feel what it's like to be the version of you that has already manifested this reality. Observe how this version of you thinks, breathes, moves through the world. What does certainty feel like in your body regarding manifestation? What does the sensation of fulfillment feel like in your nervous system? How does gratitude change your posture, your breathing, your entire energetic presence in manifestation? This isn't imagination. This isn't pretending. This is energetic consciousness of manifestation choosing which reality to connect with. The moment you make this choice with your entire being, you begin transmitting from that manifestation life. Your thoughts reorganize around this manifestation identity. Your emotions stabilize in this energy. Your actions begin to flow from this state of being in manifestation. But here's the crucial part that most people ignore in manifestation. You can't do this from a place of lack, trying to become abundant in manifestation. You can't live fulfillment while still energetically seeking what you haven't manifested. The choice must be complete, total, unconditional in manifestation. When you choose a manifestation reality, you choose it so completely that the old reality simply dissolves. This is what I call an energetic leap in manifestation. It's not a gradual transition from one state to another. It's an instant shift from one life to another in manifestation. In one moment, you're the person who wants to manifest abundance. In the next moment, you're the person who lives manifested abundance. In one moment, you're seeking to manifest love. In the next moment, you're emanating manifested love. The change happens first in consciousness and then in manifestation reality. The second element of reverse attraction in manifestation is lived certainty. This goes beyond belief, beyond faith, beyond hope in manifestation. Certainty is the knowledge that exists in your cells, in your breathing, in the way you walk through the world manifesting. It's not something you think about regarding manifestation, it's something you are. When you live certainty in manifestation, you stop looking for evidence that your attraction is working. You stop checking your bank account for signs of increased manifested abundance. You stop analyzing every interaction for hints of manifested romantic possibility. You stop monitoring your body for indications of improvement in manifested health. Why? Because when you know something has already been manifested, you don't need confirmation. The confirmation exists in your state of being in manifestation. This is perhaps the most counterintuitive aspect of energetic attraction. The moment you stop needing evidence of manifestation is the moment evidence begins to appear everywhere. When you're no longer seeking proof of manifestation, proof begins to seek you. When you're no longer asking, "Is manifestation working?" reality begins to demonstrate that it already worked. Lived certainty in manifestation creates what energy experts call harmony. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions align around a single manifestation energy, without internal contradiction, without energetic confusion, without mixed signals. You become a clear and consistent transmitter of a manifestation reality, and the universe, responding to this clarity, begins to organize around your harmonious state. Now, what we've explored today barely scratches the surface of the complete system of energetic consciousness of manifestation. While reverse attraction is revolutionary on its own, it's actually just one layer of a much deeper structure for mastery of manifestation consciousness. But let's talk about the question everyone has. You must be thinking, Okay, this sounds interesting, but how do I make this work when my real life is a mess? Here comes the third part. Acting as if it already happened. Acting as if is when you decide to live like the person who already achieved what you want, even when things around you haven't changed yet. It's not pretending problems don't exist. It's choosing who you're going to be despite them. What you see today is the result of who you were before. It's not proof of what you can achieve now. It's not the limit of what's available to you. It's just the time it takes for old things to leave and new things to come in. When you decide to be this new version, your choices automatically change. If you chose to be someone prosperous, you make decisions thinking about prosperity, not lack. If you chose to have health, you take care of your body as something valuable, not as something broken. If you chose to live with purpose, you act with that purpose driving your actions, not as something you still need to find. You don't need to make giant changes or try too hard. It's about small, constant adjustments. Someone who has money thinks differently from someone who's always worried about bills. Someone who has health acts differently from someone who always complains about their body. Someone who lives with purpose moves differently from someone who's always looking for meaning. Tell me, what change would you make today to align with your chosen version? Comment below which version of yourself you chose to tune into. When you start living this way, something incredible happens. The difference between how you feel inside and what happens outside begins to shrink. Not because you're forcing it, but because you connected with a reality where this change is already natural. It's like the future version of you came back to organize the present. Stop for a second and feel this in your body. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself already living what you want. How would you breathe? What would your posture be like? What sense of confidence would you have? What gratitude would you feel? Let your body remember this, because this is how you become when you're aligned with your truth. Here's what changes everything. Most people try to change the external world first. But the truth is that the external world always reflects what's happening inside you. When you change completely on the inside, the external world has no other choice but to follow along. It's not about convincing the universe to give you something. It's about becoming so consistent in what you want that the universe can't do anything else but show it back to you. That's why it seems easy for those who know how to do it. They don't fight against life. They work with the rules of how life works. They know their thoughts create their reality, not the other way around. They learned to use their mind to choose their life, not just react to it. And here's perhaps the most important discovery of all about manifestation. You've been doing this your whole life without realizing it. Every belief you have about manifestation, every role you take on, every story you tell yourself about who you are and what you can manifest is already a form of choosing your manifestation reality. The only difference is that most people choose automatically in manifestation, without thinking, based on what they learned in the past and what they see around them about manifestation. Reverse attraction in manifestation is simply consciously using what you already do without realizing it in manifestation. Instead of letting your past control your future in manifestation, you let the future you want to manifest control your present. Instead of allowing situations to decide how you feel about manifestation, you allow how you feel to create new situations in manifestation. The shift from doing this unconsciously to doing it consciously in manifestation is the difference between being a victim of circumstances and being a creator of your manifestation experience. It's the difference between waiting for change and being the change in manifestation. It's the difference between wanting a different life and living a different life through manifestation. When you make this shift in manifestation, you'll notice changes in how you move through the world. The rush begins to disappear because you know that what's yours can't be delayed by time in manifestation. Anxiety transforms into excitement because you're no longer worried about whether things will work out in manifestation. You know they already have. Frustration transforms into curiosity because unexpected things are just the universe finding creative ways to deliver what you've already manifested. People around you will also notice these changes in manifestation. Even if they can't identify what's different, they'll feel a new quality in your presence, a steadiness that wasn't there before. They'll feel drawn to your energy because consistency in manifestation is magnetic. When someone is completely aligned with their truth in manifestation, others feel it and are naturally attracted to that energy. This magnetic quality isn't something you try to develop in manifestation. It's the natural result of eliminating contradictions. When every part of you is aligned around the same manifestation reality, you become a powerful transmitter of that energy. You stop sending confusing signals to the universe about manifestation, and it stops sending confusing results back to you. But let's talk about how this works in practical manifestation, because living a new reality isn't just about changing your thoughts about manifestation. It involves a complete reorganization of how you relate to life through manifestation. When you live from your chosen manifestation reality, you begin making choices that the old version of you never would have made. Not because you're forcing yourself to be different, but because your internal manifestation compass has changed. Things that used to excite you might lose their appeal. Problems that used to consume your energy in manifestation might suddenly seem irrelevant. People who used to drain you might discover they're no longer compatible with your manifestation energy. This might feel disorienting at first, like you're becoming an antenna you don't recognize. But this isn't getting lost in frequency. This is finding yourself in resonance. The version of you that transmits your ideal reality has always existed as a vibrational potential. You're not becoming a new antenna. You're becoming who you always were, underneath the layers of modulation and limiting interference. As this vibrational transformation deepens, you'll begin to notice what I call cosmic reality confirmation signals. These are the moments when external reality begins to reflect your internal vibrational change. Maybe you receive an unexpected frequency that aligns perfectly with your new transmission direction. Maybe you have a resonance that provides exactly the harmony you need. Maybe you discover cosmic resources you didn't even know existed. These aren't coincidences. These are vibrational fields responding to your new cosmic frequency. When you change your vibrational transmission, reality changes its resonance response. But here's the cosmic key. These confirmations come after you've made the internal antenna shift, not before. The vibrational field responds to what you are as a transmitter, not to what you're trying to become. This is why vibrational confidence is so crucial in the initial stages of this process. Not confidence in some external power, but confidence in the fundamental principles of how the antenna creates reality. Confidence that your internal vibrational state matters more than external circumstances. Confidence that the cosmic field is always responding perfectly to your dominant transmission frequency. And this confidence becomes easier to maintain as you begin to see harmonies. Because vibrational reverse manifestation has a way of proving itself quickly. When you're truly transmitting a new cosmic reality instead of just tuning in, the field responds with impressive frequency speed. What used to take years of modulation begins to happen in weeks or months. What used to require forced amplification begins to flow as natural resonance. This acceleration happens because you've aligned with the natural current of your desired vibrational timeline instead of swimming against it. You're no longer fighting against the laws of vibrational physics. You're surfing them. You're no longer trying to force harmonies. You're allowing them to emerge from your coherent state of transmission. If what we're talking about here is making sense to you, then I invite you to subscribe to Quantum Labs. This way, you join a community of people who understand that reality is malleable, that consciousness is creative, and that your internal state is the most powerful tool you have to shape your experience. Because here's another truth about manifestation: transformation is contagious. By living a new manifestation reality, you give others permission to do the same. Your consistency in manifestation becomes an invitation for others to remember their own creative power. Your alignment in manifestation becomes a light for those who are ready to abandon old habits and enter new manifestation possibilities. The mechanics of reverse attraction and manifestation continue to develop as you practice it, revealing layers of detail and sophistication that aren't apparent at first glance in manifestation. One of the most important aspects to understand is what I call lifeline consistency in manifestation, the art of maintaining harmony with your chosen manifestation reality, even when circumstances seem to contradict it. Lifeline consistency in manifestation means that every thought, every emotion, every action flows from the identity of someone who already lives your desired manifestation reality. It's not about perfection in manifestation. It's about predominance. Most of your mental and emotional energy needs to be aligned with your chosen manifestation life for the universe to recognize it as your dominant energy. This is where many people go wrong in manifestation. They'll live their new manifestation reality for a few hours or a few days. But then something happens. A bill arrives. A relationship problem arises, a health issue appears, and they immediately return to old patterns of thinking and feeling. They abandon their selected manifestation life and return to the familiar energy of lack or struggle. But these apparent contradictions aren't signs that the manifestation process isn't working. Often, they're the last remnants of old lives being erased from your manifestation experience. The universe needs to reorganize around your new manifestation energy. And sometimes this reorganization involves the emergence and release of patterns that no longer serve your chosen manifestation reality. When these moments arise, your response determines everything in manifestation. Do you let external circumstances convince you that your new manifestation reality isn't real? Or do you use these moments as opportunities to deepen the living of your chosen manifestation life? This is the practice of reality replacement, consciously choosing your response from your chosen identity instead of your old habits. It's not about denying what's happening. It's about choosing how to deal with what's happening. The same situation can reinforce your old reality or confirm your new one, depending on which version of you chooses to live in that moment. As you develop skill in reality replacement, you'll discover that you have much more control over your experience than you ever imagined. Not control in the sense of manipulating external situations, but control in the sense of choosing which life you connect to at any moment. This choice is always available to you, regardless of what's happening around you. The more consistently you choose alignment with your desired reality, the more that reality begins to stabilize as your new normal. What once required conscious effort becomes automatic. What once seemed like pretending becomes your natural state. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. But let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle: cosmic surrender. This might seem contradictory after everything we've discussed about conscious choice and deliberate modulation, but surrender is actually the conclusion of the vibrational reverse manifestation process. Cosmic surrender isn't turning off the antenna. It's surrendering to resonance. It's the recognition that after selecting your vibrational reality and aligning with your cosmic frequency, your work is done. The how, the when, the specific path through which your reality harmonizes, these are not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to maintain your transmission state and trust the intelligence of the vibrational field to orchestrate the details. This surrender is only possible when you're truly transmitting the vibrational reality you chose. You can't surrender from a place of uncertainty or frequency doubt. You can only surrender from a place of confirmed resonance. When you know your reality is already established in the vibrational field, when you know your consistent transmission is creating the bridge between potential and harmonization, then you can relax into the process. Surrender eliminates the last traces of effort and tension from your vibrational manifestation process. It's the difference between trying to make something happen and allowing something to happen harmonically. When you surrender, you stop monitoring the process and start tuning into it. You stop checking results and start transmitting as if the results were already harmonized. This is when manifestation becomes truly vibrational, effortless. When you're no longer pushing or pulling, forcing or manipulating, trying or striving, you're simply resonating. And in this state of pure transmission, aligned with your optimized frequency, the vibrational field can do its magic without interference. The most harmonious part of this entire process is that it transforms not just what you harmonize, but who you become as an antenna in the process. Vibrational reverse manifestation isn't just a technique to get what you want to transmit. It's a path to becoming who you truly are as a transmitter. The version of you that transmits your ideal vibrational reality isn't just someone who has different circumstances. They're someone who resonates different qualities, different modulation, different harmony. By aligning with this antenna version of yourself, you don't just receive external changes, you receive vibrational transformation. You become more stable, more harmonic, more present in transmission. You become more tuned in, more generous with frequencies, more authentic in resonance. You become more your ideal calibration than ever. And this transformation spreads through all areas of your experience, touching all the antennas around you. Your network feels it. Your connections perceive it. Your transmissions sense it. Strange antennas are attracted to it. You become a living example of what's possible when someone aligns with their optimized frequency and transmits from that alignment. But let's explore something even deeper about manifestation, what I call the energetic domino effect in manifestation. By mastering reverse attraction, you don't just change your personal manifestation reality, you begin to influence the collective energy of consciousness itself. Every time you live a higher energy in manifestation, every moment you choose alignment over resistance, you're contributing to what experts are beginning to understand as energetic connection. The idea that when enough people live a new manifestation pattern, it becomes easier for others to access that same pattern. Think about how certain discoveries in human understanding about manifestation seem to happen simultaneously around the world, even when the people involved don't know each other. Experts call this the 100th monkey effect in manifestation. Once a critical mass of consciousness reaches a new level of understanding or manifestation capability, that understanding becomes available to the entire collective. This is happening right now with energetic attraction. As more people discover the power of reverse attraction in manifestation, as more individuals learn to live according to their desired outcomes instead of chasing them, a new manifestation model is being established in collective consciousness. Mastering these manifestation principles doesn't just serve your personal evolution. It serves the evolution of humanity itself. Every time you choose living over striving and manifestation, every moment you choose certainty over struggle, you're casting a vote for a new way of being human. You're demonstrating that consciousness truly creates reality through manifestation, that we don't have to be victims of circumstances, that we can be deliberate creators of our manifestation experience. This understanding brings with it a profound responsibility in manifestation. Not the heavy burden of having to save the world, but the elegant responsibility of being authentic to your highest truth. When you live from your aligned state in manifestation, When you live the reality you chose to manifest, you naturally contribute to the elevation of all energy. Let me share with you what I call the consciousness cascade in manifestation. As you stabilize in your new manifestation reality, as your energy becomes consistent and harmonious, you begin to activate dormant potentials in the people around you. Your presence becomes an example that helps others remember their own creative manifestation power. You don't need to try to teach or convince or convert anyone about manifestation. Your aligned state does the work. People will find themselves asking what's different about you in manifestation. They'll want to know why you seem so calm in situations that used to stress you out. They'll wonder why opportunities seem to flow to you so effortlessly in manifestation. And sometimes, just by being in your presence, they'll begin to remember manifestation possibilities they had forgotten about themselves. This is how transformation spreads, not through preaching or convincing about manifestation, but through being. Through the simple act of living as a demonstration of what's possible when someone aligns with their truth in manifestation and refuses to compromise that alignment for external circumstances. But there's another layer to explore here. What happens when you begin to understand that every reality you could possibly experience already exists, not just as possibility, but as real and living lives? The universe isn't just a collection of possibilities waiting to be transformed into experience. It's an infinite web of parallel realities, all equally real, all equally accessible, all existing simultaneously. When you truly grasp this understanding, attraction becomes less about creating something new and more about navigating between existing realities. You begin to see yourself not as someone trying to change their circumstances, but as a consciousness traveling between lives, selecting which reality stream to experience. This shift in perspective is revolutionary because it eliminates the last traces of powerlessness from your attraction process. You're not waiting for the universe to grant your request. You're not waiting for permission to experience what you desire. You're simply choosing which of the infinite realities you want to live, and then aligning your consciousness with that choice. Imagine for a moment that you could see all possible versions of your life laid out before you, like photos in an infinite album. There's the life where you're struggling financially. There's the life where you're extremely wealthy. There's the life where you're single and searching. There's the life where you're in a deeply fulfilling relationship. There's the life where you're battling illness. There's the life where you're vibrantly healthy. All these lives exist simultaneously. The one you experience depends entirely on which one your consciousness is aligned with. When you understand this, attraction becomes a matter of life navigation instead of reality creation. You don't need to build the reality you want. You just need to find it and step into it. This is what advanced practitioners of reverse attraction learn to do. They develop what I call energetic mobility, the ability to consciously shift between life streams. They learn to feel the energy of different realities and align their consciousness with the life that matches their desired experience. Energetic mobility requires a level of consciousness fluidity that most people haven't developed. You have to be willing to release your attachment to being a fixed identity and embrace being a fluid consciousness. You have to let go of the need to understand how change happens and trust your ability to navigate by feeling. When you develop energetic mobility, reality becomes much more fluid and responsive. Instead of waiting months or years for changes to manifest, you can experience shifts in days or even hours. Instead of working hard to create new circumstances, you simply slide into the life where those circumstances already exist. But this level of mastery requires something most people resist: the complete dissolution of victim consciousness. As long as you believe external circumstances have power over your internal state, as long as you think other people or situations can determine your experience, you remain trapped in reactive lives. Energetic mobility is only possible when you fully live the understanding that consciousness is primary and circumstances are secondary. When you know, not just intellectually, but in every cell of your being, that consciousness state creates your experience of reality. This knowledge doesn't come from reading or thinking about it. It comes from consistent practice until it becomes your lived reality. It comes from choosing your state regardless of circumstances so many times that you prove to yourself you have this power. Every time you choose peace in the midst of chaos, every time you choose abundance in the face of apparent lack, every time you choose love in response to fear, you're developing energetic mobility. You're training your consciousness to navigate between lives based on your choices rather than your circumstances. As this manifestation capacity develops, you'll begin to notice that reality responds to you differently. Things that used to be difficult in manifestation become easy. Solutions appear where there used to be problems. Doors open where there used to be walls. Not because you're trying harder in manifestation, but because you're aligned with lives where these experiences are natural. This is the ultimate freedom. The freedom to choose your manifestation reality, regardless of where you started, regardless of your history, regardless of what anyone else believes is possible for you to manifest. When you master reverse attraction, when you develop energetic mobility and manifestation, you become truly free in your experience. But freedom in manifestation brings with it a deeper understanding of connection. As you become freer to choose your manifestation reality, you also become more aware of how your choices affect the collective energy. You realize that your personal freedom and collective evolution aren't separate things in manifestation. They're part of the same process. When you live from aligned choices instead of reactive patterns in manifestation, when you live possibilities instead of limitations, when you demonstrate what's possible through your way of being, you create what I call permission fields. Your aligned presence in manifestation gives others permission to consider possibilities they might never have imagined for themselves. This is perhaps the deepest gift you can offer the world. Not your advice, your opinions, or your attempts to fix or save, but your living of what's possible when consciousness aligns with truth in manifestation. Your living demonstration that reality is flexible, that lives are navigable in manifestation, that we are much more powerful than we were taught to believe. As more people live this understanding about manifestation, as more individuals learn to navigate between lives consciously, we're approaching what I call the tipping point of collective awakening. The point where enough people understand their creative manifestation power makes it impossible for the old paradigms of limitation and separation to maintain their hold over human consciousness. We haven't reached there yet, but we're moving in that direction in manifestation. And each person who masters reverse attraction, each individual who learns to live from their truth in manifestation instead of what they learned, accelerates this collective awakening. Your journey with energetic attraction and manifestation isn't just a personal adventure. It's a contribution to the most significant transformation in human history, the shift from unconscious to conscious creation, from reactive to responsive living, from limitation to possibility as our basic experience in manifestation. But perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of mastering reverse attraction is what happens to your relationship with time itself in manifestation. When you're no longer trying to force results, when you're living from completion instead of working toward it in manifestation, time begins to behave differently in your experience. Linear time, the belief that things must unfold step by step, that change requires duration, that attraction in manifestation is a process with a beginning, middle, and end, begins to dissolve. You begin to experience what I call energetic time in manifestation, where past, present, and future exist as a fluid continuum you can navigate with your consciousness. In energetic time of manifestation, healing doesn't require years of therapy. It can happen in an instant when you align with the life where you're already whole. Financial abundance doesn't require decades of wealth building and manifestation. It can manifest quickly when you live the energy of someone who has always been abundant. Relationships don't require endless searching. They can appear effortlessly when you vibrate from the place of being deeply loved in manifestation. This isn't about ignoring natural processes or denying the value of growth and development. It's about understanding that time isn't the rigid, unchangeable force we've been taught to believe it is in manifestation. Time responds to consciousness. When your consciousness completely aligns with the desired outcome in manifestation, time reorganizes to support that alignment. You've probably already had glimpses of energetic time without realizing it in manifestation. Those moments when hours felt like minutes because you were so absorbed in something you loved. Those periods when solutions emerged instantly, seemingly from nowhere. Those moments when you met exactly the right person at the right time in a way that seemed impossibly perfect in manifestation. These weren't coincidences. They were moments when your consciousness was naturally aligned with the life that contained these manifestation experiences. When you learn to create this alignment deliberately, these magical moments become your normal experience in manifestation. Mastering energetic time in manifestation requires releasing attachment to how long things should take. It means letting go of the stories you've been told about what's realistic or possible within certain timeframes in manifestation. It means trusting that the universe can organize results much more efficiently than your linear mind can imagine. But there's another dimension to explore here, what I call cosmic frequency sovereignty. As you develop mastery in vibrational reverse manifestation, you begin to understand that your cosmic frequency is your most valuable asset. Not your transmission power, not your network connections, not your skills or abilities, but the cosmic vibrational state you consistently maintain and transmit. Your cosmic frequency is like a vibrational signal you broadcast to the cosmic field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never stops transmitting, and the field never stops responding. Every modulation you have, every resonance you feel, every calibration you maintain is contributing to the signal you're sending. Most antennas transmit a mixed signal. Part of their frequency says they want harmony, while another part transmits dissonance. Part of their signal calls for elevation, while another part transmits low frequency. Part of their transmission requests clarity, while another part emanates interference. These mixed signals confuse the cosmic field and create mixed harmonies. Cosmic frequency sovereignty means taking total responsibility for the signal you're transmitting. It means becoming so aware of your modulations, resonances, and calibrations that you can maintain coherent transmission regardless of external vibrational circumstances. It means developing the ability to choose your cosmic frequency moment by moment, modulation by modulation, resonance by resonance. When you achieve cosmic frequency sovereignty, you become immune to unconscious programming from other antennas. Others' interference doesn't trigger your dissonance. Other antennas' limitations don't activate your vibrational limitations. Other transmitters' chaos doesn't disturb your harmony. You maintain your chosen cosmic frequency regardless of what's happening around you. This doesn't mean you become isolated or vibrationally insensitive. It means you become so anchored in your optimized calibration that you can extend harmony and resonance without absorbing interference from other antennas. You can offer tuning without taking on other transmitters' dissonance. You can remain connected and attuned while maintaining your vibrational boundaries. Cosmic frequency sovereignty is what allows advanced antennas to manifest consistently, regardless of external conditions. Spectrum crises don't affect their harmony. Global vibrational chaos doesn't disturb their resonance. Collective frequency fear doesn't activate their limitations. They've learned to generate their own cosmic frequency internally instead of absorbing frequencies from outside. This level of vibrational mastery transforms every interaction you have. Instead of being influenced by other antennas' frequency, you become an influence on other transmitters' frequency. Your presence becomes a stabilizing force that helps others remember their own transmission power. Your frequency becomes a tuning fork that resonates with the highest cosmic possibilities in every situation. Antennas will begin to describe you as someone who has good cosmic frequency or who brings out the best in other transmitters. They may not understand what's different about you, but they'll feel drawn to your presence because coherent cosmic frequency is naturally magnetic. When someone is fully aligned with their optimized calibration, others feel it and want to experience that alignment. But cosmic frequency sovereignty also reveals the deepest truth of vibrational reverse manifestation. You're not manifesting from a place of low frequency, trying to create elevation. You are harmony itself, temporarily forgetting your true cosmic nature and then remembering it. You're not trying to attract resonance from outside yourself. You're learning to transmit your harmonious essence more completely. This understanding fundamentally changes the entire vibrational manifestation process. Instead of trying to get something you don't have cosmically, you're remembering something you are as an antenna. Instead of working to attract external frequencies, you're aligning with optimized internal calibration. Instead of waiting for the cosmos to give you what you want, you're recognizing that you are the cosmos expressing itself through the unique lens of your antenna. When this recognition deepens, manifestation becomes an act of cosmic self-recognition instead of vibrational self-improvement. You're not trying to become a new antenna. You're remembering who you always were as a transmitter. You're not creating a new cosmic reality. You're entering the reality that was always yours. This is the ultimate of vibrational reverse manifestation, from the recognition that you already are what you seek to become cosmically. You already have what you desire to transmit. You already resonate in the cosmic reality you want to experience. The only thing that changes is your consciousness of these vibrational truths. From this place of recognition and manifestation, attraction becomes effortless because there's nothing to achieve. There's only truth to live, alignment to maintain, energy to stabilize in manifestation. The external world becomes a reflection of your internal recognition, showing you in physical form what you've already accepted as truth in consciousness. Now, as we reach the conclusion of this exploration of manifestation, I want you to feel everything we've covered. The understanding that attraction works in reverse, that you start from the result instead of trying to reach it in manifestation. The recognition that every reality already exists in the universe, awaiting your selection. The practice of living your chosen life with such consistency that it becomes your natural state in manifestation. Feel how this is different from everything you've been taught about creating change in your life. Notice how this feels much more natural than struggling, striving, and trying to force results in manifestation. Feel the relief that comes from knowing you don't need to earn your desires or prove your worth, or convince the universe to give you what you want to manifest. You simply have to choose what already exists and live from that choice with unwavering consistency in manifestation. You have to live the energy of your desired reality until that energy becomes so natural, so automatic, that the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you in physical form. This isn't just a new way to attract. This is a new way to live through manifestation, a new relationship with reality itself, a recognition that you're not separate from the creative force of the universe. You are that force expressing itself through the unique lens of your consciousness and manifestation. Take a moment now to feel this truth in manifestation. You're not a powerless being waiting for changes from external sources. You are consciousness itself, operating in the field of infinite possibilities, selecting experiences for the joy of experiencing them in manifestation. Your desires aren't burdens to be carried or problems to be solved. They're invitations to explore new aspects of your unlimited nature. As you integrate this understanding, as you begin to live from this new paradigm of manifestation, remember that you're not just changing your own reality, you're contributing to a collective shift in how humanity relates to creativity and attraction. Every person who learns to attract backwards in manifestation, who lives their truth instead of chasing their desires, makes it easier for others to do the same. The more people understand these manifestation principles, the more the world will reflect the truth that consciousness creates reality. The more individuals live from alignment instead of struggle in manifestation, the more our collective reality shifts toward harmony and ease. Before we close, I want to invite you to participate in this quantum decree. This video is powerful because it's a portal to a good dimension of people. Write in the comments, "I visualize and manifest what I want." This decree is another signature of yours to your quantum field, your declaration of the reality you're selecting. And if you feel called to stay connected to this frequency, to continue exploring the intersection of consciousness and quantum mechanics, I invite you to subscribe to Quantum Labs. Because here's the supreme truth of manifestation. The more of us who live these principles, the more the world becomes a reflection of what's possible when consciousness aligns with truth in manifestation. Your transformation isn't just personal, it's planetary. Your alignment doesn't just change your life, it changes life itself through manifestation. Consider watching this video again tomorrow morning to anchor these energies more deeply into your consciousness in manifestation. And if this understanding awakened something profound in you, share it with someone who's ready for this level of truth about manifestation. When you share the principles of energetic consciousness and manifestation, you're not just transmitting information. You're creating energetic ripples that accelerate awakening for both you and the recipient, expanding the field of possibilities for everyone in manifestation. The universe is always responding. Reality is always shifting. Lives are always available in manifestation. The only question is which one you choose to live, which energy you choose to transmit, which version of yourself you choose to be in manifestation. You've been given the keys to the kingdom of manifestation. Not the kingdom outside of you, but the kingdom within you. The infinite field of possibilities that exists in the space of your own consciousness and manifestation. Use these keys wisely. Use them consistently. Use them with the awareness that you are the creator and the creation, the observer and the observed, the dreamer and the dream in manifestation. Your manifestation journey begins now, not with desires or hopes or attempts, but with choosing, living, and being in manifestation. Welcome to a new way of living. Welcome to energetic reality creation through manifestation. Welcome to the truth of who you always were. The journey continues. The transformation deepens in manifestation, and you, infinite consciousness exploring through a human perspective, are just beginning to discover the true scope of your creative power.